A local veteran recounting his time during the deadly Vietnam War. In this week's Salute to Heroes, we'd like to introduce you to Terry Goodwin, who is sharing his story after all of these years. Words of war don't come easy for those who served, especially for Vietnam veterans. But now, after more than 50 years, Terry Goodwin is ready to share his story.
Back then, people didn't like Vietnam veterans.
Goodwin was sent overseas as a teenager. He served in the Marine Corps from 1967 to 1969. But his military career quickly came to an end after putting his life on the line.
It was early in the morning, and a lieutenant had come and asked for volunteers to go get this dead soldier who was laying out in a dried rice paddy.
Racing against time, Goodwin says that he and 8 others worked to recover the soldier's body. But that's when they were hit with an explosive, changing his life forever.
I remember laying on the ground, and I couldn't see my legs. I could not feel them, and I thought I was going to pass away.
And then came a light.
An apparition appeared next to me, and it looked like my guardian angel. And while she's telling me that I'm gonna be okay, I remember looking over to the left to see if anybody else saw her. And then I turned back and she was still there, telling me, "You're gonna be okay."
Goodwin would survive, but the road to recovery has not been easy. Goodwin says that he spent a year in the hospital undergoing multiple surgeries, fighting off infections and learning to walk again after nearly losing his legs.
Even my brothers and sisters that came out and visited me at the hospital didn't want to come back because they thought I was going to be dead the next time.
But the war hero never gave up. His bravery has been recognized by others all along the way. His walls decorated in war medals, including a Purple Heart. And on his coffee table lies a book with a number of snapshots of the sacrifices he and his fellow soldiers made while at war. And that includes one of the men who played a part in saving his life.
While I'm laying there, the ground starts shaking, violently shaking, like an earthquake. And there was an army tank coming my way, and it was coming pretty fast. He was shooting his cannon, going under all that fire to rescue us and get us out of that fire zone.
He says he never could understand why he was one of the ones to make it out that day. In fact, it's a story he says he has struggled to share for a very long time.
I don't know if it was PTSD or scared if people find out that I was in Vietnam. People hated those veterans.
But in October, Goodwin says that he connected with a fellow veteran on the honor flight, and the two chatted on the way to Washington, D.C. and back, sharing stories about their families and their time in the military. And at the end,
he said, "Terry, you know the best part of my trip?" And I said, "What was it, Don?" And he said, "Meeting you and having a new friend." He just thought that that was the best part of his whole trip, was meeting me.
Driving home the importance of veterans staying connected, showing support, and sharing their stories from the war.